Funding for Netsafe is provided by the Utah State Legislature through a grant from the Utah Commission on Criminal and Juvenile Justice in proud partnership with these other organizations. About 17 million teenagers aged 12 through 17 use the internet daily.
I think the internet plays a really big part of my life, just for all spectrums.
I can spend from 5 to 7 hours on weekends, but usually 1 or 2.
Online gaming is a virtual environment that is redefining how kids socialize and explore their surroundings. It often becomes the place to get away from the watchful eyes of parents and hang out with friends. At any given time, millions of teenagers from around the world are connected via the internet to MMOs, massively multiplayer online worlds like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, Guild Wars, and Habbo Hotel. In these virtual environments, kids can be invisible, often creating new identities and alter egos, usually bigger than life. It's a world where kids can be invisible, immortal, and brave. And it's not just teenagers who are there for the gaming. There are also millions of online gamers over 18 years old.
The aspect that I really enjoy is strategizing with my friends and building the tactics that we need to overcome these dungeon scenarios. When you get on and game online or in LAN parties, you actually get to interact with people, and it actually fulfills a social void inside of a lot of people, including me. So that's a big reason that I like gaming.
Gaming is fun because it's a great way to unwind at the end of the day, get together with your friends and be together and think up strategies.
Kids tell their parents it's just a game, but is it? How safe is this virtual world? Here is an example of what could happen when online chat gets too personal. Tiffany loves to play an online game called RuneScape and logs on just about every day after school. She logs in under the screen name Tiffin Only. Tiffany talks with a lot of friends while playing the game. Some she knows better than others. About a month ago, a fellow gamer met Tiffany online and they became friends, logging on about the same time every day. At first, they mostly talked about the game, but one day, Tiffany logged on at a later time than usual. With that, Tiffany's new friend can find out just about everything he needs to know about Tiffin Only. Here's how he does it. First, Rockman logs onto his fake MySpace account to check whether or not Tiffany is also on MySpace. Rockman begins his search by clicking on Find a Friend and entering the names Tiffany and Tiffin Only. Success. This could be the same Tiffin Only he met on RuneScape, so he continues to search for more information by reading the profile she created about herself. Unfortunately for Rockman, Tiffin Only's MySpace profile is set to private, meaning that new friends have to be invited into her circle of friends. But now he knows she lives in Salt Lake City and is 15 years old. Rockman asked to be invited in as a friend, but Tiffany only accepts friend requests from people she knows. Rockman does not know her last name or email address. Rockman tries again, only this time he has to be creative. He knows that Josh, another RuneScape player, is a good friend of Tiffin Only. Josh is already on Rockman's list of friends, so he goes in through Josh's MySpace site to see if Tiffin Only is on Josh's friend list. She is, And now, because they are both on Josh's friends list, Rockman is to be trusted and accepted into Tiffany's circle of friends. Rockman can now check out her complete profile and look at her pictures. In her MySpace profile, Tiffany lists that, among other things, she plays lacrosse. She even posted some photos from her lacrosse games. Rockman then does a search to identify schools in Salt Lake City with a lacrosse team known as the West Orange Warriors. He finds a match, West Orange High School. The school address, class and lunch schedules, and the roster of upcoming lacrosse games. He finds that on the following Friday, the Warrior lacrosse team is scheduled to play at 7 o'clock, and it is a home game. Rockman's next step is to do a map search to see where West Orange High School is located. Now, Rockman has just about everything he needs to know about Tiffany, except where she lives. On Friday, Rockman attends the game in hopes of seeing if the real Tiffin Only matches her MySpace photos, including the one in her lacrosse team jersey. Rockman has been very successful in finding Tiffin Only. And why? Because she casually mentioned she played lacrosse with the West Orange Warriors and she lived in Utah. All Rockman needs now is to follow her home from the game to find out where she lives. In less than 15 minutes, Tiffany's personal information is an open book to potential online predators like Rockman. What started in an online game with innocent conversation between friends has now become a very dangerous situation. What should Tiffany have done to prevent this from happening? Looking back, perhaps it wasn't such a good idea to share so much information about her lacrosse team, although it started out very innocently. At that point, Rockman decided to take it one step further. How should Tiffany have answered Rockman's questions? Tiffany should not have told him that she lives in Utah, even though it's a pretty big state and a seemingly inconsequential answer. This is where the potential trouble began. Now Rockman knows that Tiffany lives in Utah and plays on a lacrosse team called the Warriors. This is another bad choice on Tiffany's part. Now Rockman also knows that Tiffany's parents probably come home from work early in the evening, and Tiffany is most likely alone until then. A better choice for Tiffany to respond to Rockman would look like this. As for Tiffany's MySpace profile, posting photos of herself and her lacrosse team was not a good idea. That, along with posting her photo, her age, and the fact that she lives in Salt Lake City, makes her a potential target to be groomed by an internet predator. Take the time to think about what you were doing. How safe are you when you are talking or playing online? For more information, go to netsafeutah.org. Funding for Netsafe is provided by the Utah State Legislature through a grant from the Utah Commission on Criminal and Juvenile Justice in proud partnership with these other organizations.